Good morning, everybody. All zero viewers, because I've just started straight off the bat. Anybody who is watching, maybe in post, hello. As I'm set up here, we'll get started. I'm just checking everything looks good. It all looks good to me. Hello there, friend, Mr. Minecraft. How are you this morning? Like everything's working, so we can get started, I suppose. I need to decide what I'm going to do today. I was excited to get onto the next area, but I also was feeling like I was totally rushing the present area. So, hello, Russian friend. I'm not going to try and pronounce that name because my Cyrillic, not good, not my finest language. So yes, I was working through here, and I was putting some kind of seaweed on this place, and working on the shore. Hello, friend. I'm actually, my hair is enjoy it while it lasts because I'm going to get a haircut today. So this will be the end for my present incarnation of hair. I'm doing just fine this morning. This cave thing here looks kind of cool. So I do need to do some work on the top as well. So let's just kind of work along the base again, and just make sure that we have some nice kind of base here. Today is it's Thursday. It is the 30th of August. What's going on in the news? Hello, Slimy. Slimy. Can I call you Slimy, or is that weird? It's probably weird, isn't it? What is going on in the news? Think. Oh, some not very fun stuff, generally. You know, world news is never very fun, but generally, yeah, not great. I think Trump is blaming China for deterioration in relations with Japan, which is an interesting thing to have done. I don't really see why China is to blame for that, but... Oh, is that right? Yeah, I'm not sure what to say about the whole China... So if you didn't know, Japan has started... has had some unilateral... bilateral... discussions in secret with North Korea because they don't trust America anymore. And so I think Donald Trump is blaming China for that, which is a bit interesting. I'm not really sure why he would do that, but there you go, there's that. So I do quite like this area, actually. I think it's looking okay. It's looking better than I thought it was. I do want to kind of get a few more of these bits of greenery on it. Let me show you. I don't know how much you've seen, but so this is what I'm working on right now. It's this kind of coastline area here. It's supposed to be a just kind of a really rough coastline, so it's kind of rocky and getting splashed by the sea. And it's kind of we got this kind of seaweed on it, which I'm actually gonna just a little go whittling down. I don't want it to be quite as much as it is. It looks beautiful under the water, though, huh? Like that's lovely. It plays into onto this portion of the coast here, which is all part of this portion of the coast over here. This little beach. I mean, it's quite big. What I'm working on generally. I think it's safe to say at this point it might be an adventure map one day. Just noticed a bear spot. Where was it? There's a bear spot here. Go away. Wow, this is actually a real mess. I mean, I know this is not what I should be doing right now, but it's the little bits of attention to detail that, wow, that's beautiful, isn't it? This shader mod has some really cool effects, like this little shaft of light here. Beautiful. So yeah, this is what I'm working on, this kind of build here. Not really sure what else to say about it. So today I'm going to be just this region here. Everything kind of around here is what I'm hoping to get done with. So let's leave the little coast, the very edge of the coast for now, and we're going to go for some. I'm going to use a lift brush on this rock here, and in the meantime, I'm going to talk about. I'm going to try a couple new things because I think sometimes I don't have much to talk about on this stream, and you guys, unsurprisingly, find it a little bit boring if I'm just describing always exactly what I'm doing. So I have searched up some X of the day, and so we have a couple things that I can talk about. And so we're going to talk about, I think it's Merriam-Webster's word of the day, so you can learn some things too. And so let me see here. Let's adjust this. I hope you guys are ready to get educated, because we're going to learn about the word buttonhole, which is a great word, buttonhole. And when I read that, I thought maybe it was a joke, buttonhole, like is that a joke? But no, apparently that is not a joke. This is legitimately the word of the day from Merriam-Webster. I am on a server, but it's my own server. It's just a local host server, so it's on the same machine that you are seeing me playing on. So unfortunately, you cannot join, if that's what you were thinking. This word buttonhole, obviously it has an obvious meaning. That is the little hole on one's shirt where buttons go. Yeah, that's not a very exciting definition, but it also has another meaning. Somebody can be said to be buttonholed if they are trapped into a conversation that they don't want to be in. Said to come from an annoying person who might actually hold onto the buttons of your shirt, which sounds extremely annoying. Can you imagine being trapped in a conversation by somebody who just actually physically won't let you go? Sounds upsetting. So there we go. We have a cliff edge, and I think I'm going to do a little bit more of lifting in here, and we'll see if we can make this a little bit more interesting a shape. So just going to bring in a little bit more depth there, and we'll go back to the blend ball, and there we go. Yes, that seems to work-ish. And so I'm going to try put some rocks in there as well. So BR rock stone 390. I'm just going to use this to bulk a little bit in here. Just plump that up. Oh gosh, I've injured my shoulder actually. I don't know how. I suspect actually we have being a big company, we have sometimes we have a lady or a man. It's usually a lady though. Come on and do back massages, and I think she injured me actually. I think she hurt my back, so that's kind of a shame. It's not really what they're supposed to do. I'm sure if I were a different person I could probably sue her, but I'm not going to because that seems a bit rude. But yes, so my shoulder is in pain, but that's okay. Worst things happen at sea, you know. Yes, so it's we have FWE, which is Faster World Edit. No, it's not. It's fast. Asynchronous. I don't know how to spell asynchronous, but something like that. Fast asynchronous world edit, which basically means it's world edit and also voxel sniper. Voxel sniper is the one that I'm using for most of these terraforming commands. World edit is a bit more basic. Cool. So I kind of want to route through here for the player to walk through. So let's go with a cliff brush here. So we'll grab a BR cliff 4, and we'll go through here. And I can just use this to create. I mean, it's going to be a mess at first, but I'm going to smooth it over after. I can use this to create like a little canyon, ravine, which is actually, it's quite difficult to do otherwise. Like, this is not super easy to do via any means that I know of. Most of the brushes with Voxel Sniper actually remove detail, and so to add detail back, which is basically what we're doing here, we're trying to add more detail, is a tricky prospect actually, and so the cliff brush does that nicely. Yeah, so most of these commands are actually not world edit. This one is world edit, the one that you're seeing me using right now, but many of the others are not world edit. You can tell if it's a world edit or a voxel sniper command, because world edit commands begin with BR or brush, and voxel sniper commands begin B, just letter B. And voxel sniper uses these two, gunpowder and arrow, as its tools, whereas world edit can use any brush and bind brushes to individual tools. So they are somewhat different in the way they work. Here we go. It's nice. So this gives us just a little route through to walk, which is kind of what we want. And let's see if we can make a little more kind of smoother path here, or more complete path here for walking along. And yes, there we are. More complete path for walking along. Who knows where this goes? I certainly don't, and I'm the one building it, so I would say nobody does. But what we can get, actually, we can get the viewpoint, can't we? So let's see. The user's going to be able to see it already. In fact, we're kind of obscuring it a little bit with that. So I mean, what we really want is that the big reveals. So like for example here, coming up and being like, oh wow, instead of being able to kind of come around the corner and see half of it, which is what we got here. So maybe we can change the. Oh yes, these are the newer textures. Yeah, I'm not sure whether we can do anything about that actually. I suspect we can't really do much about the. I mean, we can take this down. Let's take this down so that this is at least not obscuring us. Excuse me, something is. No, Steam, go away. Well, it's very bright, isn't it? Let me just readjust the lighting here. A little bit less bright. Oops, what did I just hit? I don't know what I just hit, but it's probably okay. So I'm going to use a lift brush here. I'm going to use the lift brush just to push down on here, and we're just going to take the top off just so that when we're coming in from that angle, we get the good view right away. And there we go. So now there's nothing obstructing that view. This is still obstructing it just a little bit, so let's just push it down a little more. And then we'll take a blend ball over that. And whoops. I'm kind of in two minds about it. I think some of the new textures look good, some of them look worse. I noticed the main two things that the new textures seem to have done. Hello, Blade Slash of Death. the bee sword. Hello, friend. Yeah, I've noticed that a lot of the textures, the two things that they're doing is they're removing pixelated textures. So like this, for example, used to look very pixelated. Now it doesn't, which I think is an improvement. But it's also adding contrast. I'm not sure whether I like the way it adds contrast to some blocks. Like leaves, for example, I think look worse. In fact, let me show you. Some leaf blocks, like if you get up close, you see that's more like what the old one looks like, and that's quite okay, I think. But if you look at the jungle leaves, it looks super repetitive. Like the texture's kind of small, maybe too small for the shape, as it were. Too big, sorry, too big for the small shape, and so you can just see the same leaves tiled. I am building this area that you see. Specifically, I'm working on this area here. So yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. I was discussing the 1.13 textures. So just gonna, yeah. So I wanted to make this path through here before I continue work. Some other textures that I think have been much improved are, I think Obsidian looks way better because they ramped the contrast up, which you kind of needed. So we only get the full view of it kind of here, which I think is still too far back, considering that it's obscure. It's viewable in an obscured fashion from here. Like this is awkward. That's not good. That doesn't look good. That looks good though. So maybe I want to bring this forward just to obscure it a little bit so that the player can't see it as they're coming up. So that's what I'm going to do actually. So we use a lift brush here, and I need a smaller brush. Yes, everything you see is built by hand. I've made everything on this stream using the tools that you can see. So it is indeed custom terrain. So now, coming up, we can see that we can't see anything. There's no visibility. We get a little bit of visibility there, and then boom, we get the whole visibility. Yeah, that works. Okay, so let's do a blend ball over this, and we'll just... Whoa, wrong blend ball. We just hit it with the blend ball. And that will just... Yes, good. Just want that one in there, and then we can bring this down a little maybe. Or do we want... Maybe we don't want that. Maybe we want to bring this up a bit more even. So we just bulk this up. I'm doing this every day, same time every day. I've been doing this particular area for about 2 months. There we go, boom. We get that view. And I want to bring it out a little bit just so that it looks a bit more welcoming, more inviting to stand on. And actually, this is kind of awkward, isn't it? So let's readjust this. Make it look a little bit less awkward, because I don't want it to be too awkward looking. So you come up here and then boom. So let's bring this out. Yeah, that's what we need to do. So the player's going to come around the corner and they're going to see, oh, that looks like a place I should go, and then they're going to see, yes, should work. So let's do not that. I want to use a lift brush, and we're going to lift this out. Whoops. And I'm going to lift out fully here. Just make a nice little platform. And here we go. So now, theory. I will let you see briefly from here. I don't want to fly around too much because I do want to keep kind of building, but most of what I've done in the last couple months is here. So I built this one yesterday. These guys a couple weeks ago, and so on and so forth. Got a little ruined temple in the middle there. There's more stuff to it, but I don't want to fly around right now. I'll do it right at the end. If you're still here at the end of the stream, which will be in about an hour, I'll fly around and show you. Although, of course, it's perfectly understandable if I'm too dull or too boring or too busy or whatever. It's very easy going here, so easy come, easy go. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. So boom, come around the corner, and boom, we have the money shot, as it were, for this section. And it looks kind of inviting. You're like, I want to stand there. It looks like a place I should stand. Cool. And let's just real quick try and fix this area to look a little bit nicer. Maybe a little bit of sand on here. Yeah, doesn't really make sense for that not to be sand. Doesn't make sense for that not to be sand. That's a great. That could be a great out of context quote. I don't understand. How is that not sand? And I'm actually gonna bring the sand down here so we can kind of. A little bit smoother. I'm going to do that. I kind of want it to be a little bit more smoother, less weird looking. That looked like kind of weird, but whatever. It does make it nice and accessible for the player as well, assuming there will be a player here. And there we go. So there we can remain having this. We'll allow this. Trying to say, we'll allow this remaining walkway to be here, but there's probably not going to be anything too interesting here. And in fact, I think we should go for something on top. Maybe we can go for a big tree. Well, I mean, if you are interested in how I built all this, you can go and watch. There are about 35 VODs of me building this, and you will discover for yourself exactly how I built all this. There's been, I think, I don't remember doing anything that wasn't on the stream, so it's all on the stream, if you are interested. I kind of want to build a big tree. I'm tempted to build a big tree. Maybe I don't want to build a big tree though. Maybe I want this kind of area to be a bit Nah, a big tree would be cool, wouldn't it? Alright, we're going to build a big tree, but first of all we're going to make an area for it. So in order to do that, I'm going to do some rocks. I have some rock brush. Doesn't matter, I'll just do it again. BR rock stone. Actually, let's do andesite. And we'll do size 7. And we need to set the eccentricity. Or, I'm not sure if it's eccentricity or whatever. Sorry, excuse me. Oh. Whatever the opposite of eccentricity is. So basically, the higher the number for that brush, the more regular the stone is. Yeah, I have some, they're very popular, some of them. Still very popular now. I don't know if you're a recent viewer, whether you just discovered my channel, because I am still... Recently, my popularity on my time-lapses has upticked again, which is nice. Yes. Very popular, those. So I'm going to use a little trick here. We're going to do BR gravity. I'm going to keep it reasonably small, let's say 20. The gravity brush does what it says on the tin. We're going to turn this from a pile of rocks into a rocky hill. And we can basically just keep using the gravity brush, and this is essentially going to kind of melt the stone into stop it from looking like rocks and start it looking like kind of hillsides, which is kind of what we want. So there we get this kind of really cool like hillside look, like so easy as well, just real simple. Yes, so Voxel Sniper and World Edit, lots and lots of both. I kind of don't want to hit that area down there, but I think it's too late now, so we are going to hit it. Yeah, Voxel Sniper's great tool. If you're interested in some kind of basics, you could probably learn a thing or two here. This is it's called FAWI, Fast Asynchronous World Edit, which has got both World Edit and Voxel Sniper in it. And so, oh, I need to be careful here. I do not want to erode that. Let's undo that, because I don't want the front here to be hit with the gravity brush. There we go. So a good rule of thumb for knowing which command is which, if you're watching the stream, if it starts with a B, it's a World Edit command. A Voxel Sniper command, sorry. If it starts with a BR, it's a World Edit command. And Voxel Sniper always uses these two. These two are the brushes, the arrow and the gunpowder. So arrow tends, well, they tend to do kind of different things depending on the brush. Can't really tell you more than that because it's different on every brush. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a blend ball. This is the most powerful brush probably, or one of the most powerful brushes in Voxel Sniper. And what it does is, it's like a smooth brush, but it's, I don't really know what it does actually. Let me just rephrase that. I don't know how the blend ball works. But what it effectively it can be used for with the arrow mode is it can be used to smooth surfaces that are exposed to air. It doesn't play so nicely when you have surface. It treats all surfaces. It all blocks the same, including air, which means that how to describe it? It's not really, strictly speaking, like a smoothing brush. It's not like an erosion brush. So you have to be a little bit careful around different materials. But if you're working with one material, it works very effectively to just basically work as a smoothing brush. And what I'm going to use this for is just kind of on the top, in the places where it looks a bit rough, because nobody likes walking around on a map and seeing like just the ground looking really rough. It's just no fun. Just makes it difficult to walk around and it just looks unfinished. So the tops of surfaces, I try to use the blend ball on a lot. Obviously the sides don't need it so much because you know, you're not walking there, and that's how you get detail into your builds. Hello, Magician. How are you this morning, friend? So I might want to put a bit of a, I don't know. We'll see where we go with this. For now, I'm gonna just try and smooth out a little bit on the top. Now, if you are interested in Voxel Sniper, one of the biggest mistakes people will make with Voxel Sniper is to overuse smoothing brushes and erosion brushes and turn your landscape into essentially... the Voxel Sniper tools aren't really perfect, and particularly they favour this kind of an architecture. So here you see we've got this like very simple shape. It's just straight diagonal and straight diagonal. And it very much, a lot of the brushes very much prefer that shape, and if you overuse it, you will end up with what's essentially just straight lines, Minecraft's definition of straight lines, so blocks that are either in a straight line or diagonal to one another everywhere, so you have to be a bit careful. Well, I wouldn't worry about it too much, friend. If your phone dies, I will still be here tomorrow. In fact, I'll still be on you'll still be able to watch the stream later. They are all available on my channel. so there's no worries at all, friend. A bit weird, isn't it? I wonder if that was a result of yeah, I think it was. That was a result of the cliff brush that I used. Yes, that's the real danger. In fact, let me show you. Yeah, definitely, it's a trick. Let me show you. In fact, I'm just gonna ruin this shape just so that I can show you what I mean, and then we'll undo it. But if you do a BE smooth, so this is the first brush probably you learn about, the first brush you'll try to use. Everybody wants to use this. Oh, smoothing, that sounds super useful. Yeah. If I do get a big size here and I just whack it, look. What you're going to see is more and more of the detail is just going to vanish. And there we go. So that's like nearly that's pretty much the most stable shape. So you notice this shape on top, completely square. And here we have so much straight lines, like very, very many straight lines. So I'm going to undo it again and you'll see you'll see basically the detail kind of creep back in. So there, that was the kind of the one where I first there. Without the smoothing, looks okay. With the smoothing, gosh. With the smoothing, yeah, we lose a lot of that detail. So there are some tools we can use to add detail back in. In particular, in fact, why don't I do that now? I haven't done it in ages. I'm going to show you a great trick. So this is the BSB, the splatter ball, and it has a few commands to it. But that's essentially what it does, is it creates a huge splatter. Now it's too big a splatter for this operation. But say here, for example, we got this real smooth space, so we hit it with a splatter ball, and then we go back for our blend ball again, and we go like this, and we have the exact same shape. So there we go. Let's try one blend ball, but a bigger one. So I do like a size 8 blend ball here, and I just whack it once, and there we go. So actually, we've managed to add a little bit more noise back in there without too much effort. And so you can use these brushes together to create detail anywhere that you need it. So actually, let me just demonstrate it real quick on here. Yeah, splatter and gravity. So that creates like these pillars, essentially like random pillars, and so it works very well. I imagine for something like, you know, Giant's Causeway, where it's basalt columns. Here we go. So there we go. There was some, you know, very, very low detail objects under there. Actually, we need those to be a bit smaller. Do like a 5. So yeah, some very low detail cylinders there. And now if we swap over to the blend ball and we go for a size 7 and we stick that on, what we're going to find is we actually added a lot of detail by using brushes. We added detail, whereas if I were to do this, so this was, you know, this was just kind of cylinders. So if I were to use this over here, just the blend ball, this is what we're going to get. We are going to get kind of, it looks kind of like detail, but you can see it's just kind of bleh, smoothing out what we already have. Whereas this, you know, you can see that new portions of detail have actually been added. That's also a great hint, actually. Number one most important trick. Anyway, so I'm actually going to grab. Let's do a splatter ball technique on this edge here. So let's do it, and I'll just show you kind of how I would use this splatter ball technique. So we use a size 5, so fairly small. Now there are parameters involved with splatter ball, and you can make it so that it adds more or less material depending on what you're feeling like. I'm not going to go through the exact details of how to do that, because I don't want this to be too dry and technical, and there are people watching who probably don't care. So there we go, now it looks ugly, but now we take the blend ball and we can scale it up to size 7 again, and we'll just run over here, and this will clean off those floaters, and we will have added a small amount of detail. This is very light splatterball, so it doesn't really add too much, but it is. I mean, there was already, to be fair, there was already detail on this build because of how it was originally constructed using the rock brush. But there we go. So it just creates a little bit more random, natural-looking surface. Okay. Whoops. Okay, so I'm gonna go for actually. Let's do the surface on the interior here. So this is all actually going to join in, I think. So let's do that. Yeah, let's get some rocks in here. That's not the rock brush. Is that the rock brush? Is that the rock brush? I don't know what that was. Oh, it's a gravity brush. There's the rock brush. Alrighty. So I'm going to fill in this area here. And I'm planning on having a very large mountain up this way. Big mountain, bigger than that. So kind of ascending in this direction is a nice idea. And I'm using this rock brush because this is kind of my new favorite tool for kind of laying down the groundwork. It adds a lot of detail, a lot of noise, which is kind of, that's kind of the finite resource really with Voxel Sniper and these tools. Once you take the noise out, once you take the detail out of a build, it's very, very hard to put it back in, like without damaging the build. So get it there. I find get it there to start with if you haven't got an idea for how you're going to do that. So you either visualize exactly what the shape you want it to look like is, and then you put you build that shape out, or you use a brush, something like the rock brush, which will generate a random-ish terrain for you, and then you can work with that. And slowly, as you refine it, you take the detail and take the noise out, and you slowly refine it, and eventually you have, you know, the kind of refined version of what you want. But it's much easier to take detail out than it is to put detail back in. Alright, well, like I say, if you're interested, you can watch the stream in post, or you can catch me tomorrow at the same time. Thanks for watching, friend, anyway. So this is quite nice, actually. I quite like this kind of little canyon route that we've got going on. And I think we can have a similar thing leading up here. Let's do that. I think I've got this one. Yeah. We've got the... this brush here is a BR cliff brush. So it's trying to generate Minecraft-style cliffs, actually. It's a world's Voxel Sniper. No, it's not. It's a world edit command. So it's quite kind of basic because it's world edit, but this is another method that super useful for kind of adding detail, because doing this shape is just really difficult. Like, that's a lot of steps. Otherwise, you'd have to use it's a lot of steps. You'd have to do circular, like a cylindrical brush to remove the material, and then you have to smooth, and that's just a lot of effort, which we don't want to go to. There we go. So next thing is I suppose we want to put kind of a smoothing layer over the top of this. So I'm going to use a lot of blend ball here, actually, and we're just going to... Now, I know this destroys the Zenball does not respect voxel ink types, so it removes data from the build, unfortunately, which means that basically these rocks are all going to lose their coloring, but it's okay. Okay, nice. Yeah, so anything that you can add a bit of noise with is super useful. So that sounds yeah, kind of it's a similar kind of idea, isn't it? And then once you have the noise in there, you can work with it. It inspires you, and actually, this is kind of an interesting idea in China, in Chinese art. There's this concept of li. Li is order of nature. So things like, let me think of an example of li. Grain in wood. You know, it's natural and it's ordered, but you don't know how it's ordered. You don't really understand it. And then when the woodworker comes to the piece of wood, he can work with the li, that is the pre-existing order of nature, to create something kind of beautiful. And it's kind of an interplay between nature and man that creates this artwork. And I think it's the same kind of, you get the same kind of interplay with Minecraft. Minecraft has a medium, you know, for example, if you're in the world generated, the standard generated terrain, you might be inspired to build this thing or that thing, or you might be inspired to change the terrain, and that's kind of, you have this interplay between you and the world, and it's the same kind of, I think I would call it li. I mean, it's not technically li because li is specifically nature, and it's specifically not possible to understand, but I mean, the Minecraft terrain generation is difficult to understand, and certainly nobody can look at a piece of terrain and go, I know how that was generated, or generally most people can't, so I suppose maybe it's li. Anyway, now that I've rambled on about that for a little bit, I'm grabbing a stone cylinder here because I want to bulk up the floor, and I don't know a better technique for this yet. So just plain old World Edit cylinder works pretty well for just raising floors and filling in spaces. Yeah, exactly. I mean that's it's really important. Like, trying to build super flat is a different skill, I would say, to working with the Minecraft terrain. And you know, obviously, this being a super flat world, there is no terrain in here to start with. I need to have that inspiration from somewhere, as it were. And this is my method. Is presently it's the rock brush. Previously, it's been just kind of force of will, essentially, just coming up with the stuff from thin air, which is a trickier job, really. I mean, even then, you're still working with the noise, because it's just, I mean, it's not really possible, I think, for the human mind to kind of envision, you know, all the complexities of a surface like this. I mean, imagine. You know, this looks reasonably natural, right? But imagine without any tool, trying to build this block by block by block by block by block just by hand. Like, it's nuts. What do I like out of building in Minecraft? I'm not sure what you quite mean by that. What's my favourite part of building? Probably one of my favourite things about building in Minecraft is that as you're going along, you're building the background of the rest of the terrain. So, like, as I'm working, I get to be working in this beautiful environment now, which is probably my favourite. One of my favourite things is like, it's an iterative process where, as you're going along, you're creating like a nice environment to play in. Which is a really cool aspect of Minecraft. Which I don't know, I'm thinking about it, I'm not sure if you really get that in, I suppose, like gardening, perhaps? I'm trying to think of another art form. I would call Minecraft an art form. I'm trying to think of another art form where that's true. I suppose something like gardening, like you keep going out into the garden and each time you go out you're improving the way it looks, and it makes the environment nice. Yeah, that doesn't sound fun. This looks kind of like a sphinx or something, doesn't it? You see what I mean? Like it's got like a rump here, and like kind of, I mean, I know these don't look like legs. Maybe it's a spider, like his thorax and legs over here, and then it should have a head up here, maybe. Anyway, I was going to build a tree, wasn't I? So we're going to go for one of these trees over here, the same as what we've got so far. In fact, maybe we won't do that. Maybe we'll try something new. Would I do that though? No, maybe we won't try something new. I'm quite happy with the old method, so I'm going to use the existing method that I've developed. So we start with... you know what, maybe I am going to try something new. No, I'm not. I'm not gonna dare. I'm gonna use the same method. So we want jungle wood, which is once it's 17. Let's find out. So we do BR rock. 17. Is it 15? 4. Let's try that. Alrighty. I will see you later then. I'm gonna go for a size here of I think 4 is big enough, but we want obviously it to not be quite so smooth. And then we can do a smaller one, and a smaller one, and finally a very small one. So this is again... so leaf decay actually, when you place a leaf in Minecraft, it goes down with a different metadata. So oak leaves, for example, are leaf 1, I think. But there's also another oak leaf, leaf 5, I think, which is oak leaf, except it doesn't decay. So, alrighty, well, I'll see you when I see you, Mac. So... so this technique works pretty well, scarily well actually. Just got to be a little bit careful about what I'm doing. And actually we need to, unfortunately we have to turn the shaders off because otherwise it's not going to work really. Yes, it does count as natural. Unless you choose the right data value. So let me show you actually. So if I'll just demonstrate real quick. BR cylinder leaf. So let's just do that, and then if we do BR cylinder leaf 5, I think. There we go. These are the two. If we pick them up, that's oak leaf, and that's also oak leaf. But this one is going to decay, and this one isn't. So actually, let's just start that decay process. So I'll just punch them both, and we'll demonstrate. Oops. Hopefully, we'll see. Watch me be just wrong, and it just not decay. Alrighty. Oh, I overwrote one of my brushes, didn't I? I wonder which one it was. I think it was probably this one. So I'm going to work with what we have here and try and make some kind of cool tree shape. Let's start with roots, actually. See if we can get kind of a rooty shape. Right now we're not getting a rooty shape. So these work great for roots, I think. a little bit less good for some other things. They don't work so well for branches, but you know, we work with what we have. And the rock brush is apparently the best brush in the whole game, so I'm afraid not. Tomo, it's just a private server with just me on it, so unfortunately no. Yeah, that's kind of cool. And we'll do one more coming over here. The chunky root. So I'm trying to work again with what the random noise that is being generated by the. This is just proving me wrong, isn't it? Maybe I am wrong. So, and just going to bulk out the base here and just join the roots into the main structure of the tree now. So this process is actually going to be completed later. So I'm going to smooth over the main trunk. I'm probably not going to smooth the roots. But what I do want to do is kind of, you know, trees aren't just like a trunk and then leaves out of the bottom. Fruits out of the bottom and branches out of the top. You know, they're the branches are part of the trunk as well. So the trunk like grows. So like here, for example. Let me reword this. A branch doesn't just stick out randomly. You can see it's part of the tree. So the trunk is thicker where the branch is coming from. I like to imagine actually as I'm building trees that you know, maybe there is a straight line from here that goes all the way through the tree, all the way up to here. And so, if there is 100 branches, 1 block wide each, there should be 100 blocks in the trunk as well. Obviously, that's a very rough and ready kind of estimate, but kind of tricky to explain the concept that I'm trying to explain. Actually, it's quite a simple concept, but difficult to explain it. Alrighty, so we're going to bring another branch up this way. And again, just kind of working with what we've got. So, trying to spot the places where a branch looks like it could be. And then, kind of as the branch comes out, working with the shape that it generates. This creates some kind of cool shapes that are much easier to do than trying to brute force it. I have brute forced trees in the past. I had to build them using non-random tools, and this is just bliss by comparison. It's kind of therapeutic actually building trees in this fashion, and nice and easy and fun. Yeah, easy, fun, rewarding. Works pretty well. That's nice. I mean, it doesn't produce the perfect trees, but you know, nothing using random tools will. But I mean, we don't have time. I could spend all day building these trees, but no one's going to look too close at them, are they? They're just background. Alrighty, have a good day, friend. I hope to see you again. Yeah, the rock tool is God. I can show you other things to do with the rock tool. In fact, let me show you real quick. There's something over here that's rock tool based. So you may notice that these are all these trees are all on rocks. That is a rock. This cave here built using rock tool. And we have over here, there's a huge cave. You can make great caves using the rock tool if you use air. So in here, this cave is. It's built with a rock tool. So you can see it creates these cool like spaces with sharp edges, I suppose, which looks super cave-like. Yeah, so with the air rock tool you can create I mean that's kind of similar to what you would be doing if you were using TNT. If you're using some kind of TNT or TNT equivalent, that's basically an air style rock tool. You can use it also. So I've just been proven completely wrong. In that these are not rotting. So I don't know what's going on there. Maybe I disabled leaf decay. I'm not sure. But what I said is correct, as far as I'm aware. Maybe I don't know why it's not working here. There's definitely two types of each leaf though, as I say. Alrighty, so that I think will do for the base of our tree. So yeah, I think that's going to work. So we're going to put some leaves on, and for leaves, I like to go with a rock brush. I'm going to go with BR rock leaf. We'll go for leaf 6, I think. And we'll do size 5, and we'll do a 90, and then we're going to do mask air. That's important that we put the air mask on. I don't know what kind of leaf that is. What kind of leaf is that? Birch leaves. Actually not going to do that. We'll do 7 instead. I think 7's the right one. Yeah. Alrighty, I just want to check whether or not it's... yeah, it's not. Good. So, my usual technique is something like this, I think. So target each of kind of the ends of the branches to start with, and then kind of reshape as necessary. And I have used other techniques in the past. In fact, there's a Voxel Sniper custom tree tool, which I've used in the past to make the leaves, and that worked pretty well actually. So I wouldn't count that one out as a possibility. It's just there's a lot of stuff goes into that command. Okay, so there we go. We've got a bit of a tree. And I'm now gonna add more leaves to it. Trying to make it kind of rounded, but obviously, you know, if it wants to have wild branches, that's fine, because they're, you know, you see those on trees. Trees have stray branches sometimes. Try to bring some around here, and I am actually going to, after this, use some brushes on it. I'm gonna, I think, use a blend ball maybe over it to take away any kind of excessive mess noise on it. Yes, cool. Oh, you know what I could do? I could put some flowers on it, couldn't I? I wonder what actually putting straight up flowers on will work like, whether or not it's... Let's try it, actually. I'm going to try putting actual flowers. So they're going to look a bit weird because they're going to be obviously suspended and not really on anything. But I think so long as they don't get touched, they won't move. So we're going to do replace leaf 95%. Yeah, we need to have a check here. We need flowers. What's that? Sunflower. Let's try sunflower, why not? Replace leaf 165. Whoa! That's not what I thought it was. Although it does look pretty cool. What is that then? 175. Alright, let's try that. I just want to see what it looks like. Ah, it's just the stems. Okay, don't want that. So let's see if I can find... flowers are in decoration box, aren't they? Let's go with the blue orchids, maybe. Or let's go with the Azure Bluettes. So 38.3. 38.3. Alrighty, so I mean that's what it looks like if the entire tree is replaced with them. And it looks beautiful, wow. I assume that's going to have a problem, but it reminds me of like a hawthorn tree or something, or a cherry blossom maybe. So what we're going to do is actually we're going to do 95% leaf 7 and 5% of the flowers. It's not enough of the flowers, so let's do more. Let's do 90%. Oh, I'd say that's because it was only 1%. I see. There we go. Oh, it's beautiful. Awesome. That's awesome. I love it. Yeah, I'm not sure I need to do anything else. Although, thinking about it, we totally skipped a very important step, which was blend ball on the trunk. Screw it. I do blend ball on the trunk now, just a little one. So this is it's gonna damage the texture of the tree because blend ball does not respect the voxel data, but that's okay. We can just easily just replace the wood with the right kind of wood again. And this actually lets us see which areas we've already visited, so it's actually kind of handy. So it's a little bit thin in the middle there, isn't it? Maybe we can resolve that. Get a little bit on the branch there. So this blend ball and rock just works blessedly for building trees like this. So I'm going to need to use a lift brush on it though. So lift brush, great. Push in areas we don't like, pull out areas that we need more of, and very, very quickly we can make we can turn our beautiful tree into a cube, which is what I've just done, but it's okay. We can resolve that again. There we go. Alrighty, let's push that in a little, and we'll grab the blend ball again. And we'll just smooth out the damage we did. And there we have it. Damage smoothed. But as we can see, it's still very chunky near the top here. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to make it more chunky. Premium Snow. Hello, friend. I do love the mixer names. I'm assuming that's a mixer name. If it's a self-chosen name, well done also, because Premium Snow sounds like a cool, like a brand of fake snow. A cool one. Oh, I'm so funny. And whoops. So gonna go for smooth over all of this. How are you doing today, friend? Premium Snow. There we go. Yes, looks good. Nice. Alrighty. So I'm gonna now replace the wood back with the original color of wood. Select everything in one. We do replace wood, 15. Oops. Oh, damn. I deselect before I had actually done anything. It's not called wood, is it? I don't know what it's called, but it's not wood, fortunately. I'll use reference 17. Replace 17, 17, 15. There we go. Alright, let's get the shaders back on. Hello, Nicholas. I recognise that name. Have you been here before? Video setting. Yes, that's what I'm looking for. Shaders. We turn the shaders on. And in the meantime, I have a thought for the day. Here's a great and inspirational quote. I hope you're ready for this. Everything changes, and everything around you is affected by change. If you wait until you retire to pursue your dream, chances are they have already changed as well. Ooh. How about that for some wisdom? I'm sure you guys aren't thinking about retirement, so it might not be very relevant to you, but it's good advice. I mean, the real advice here is don't frickin' wait, do what you want to do. Even if that is playing Minecraft for an hour in the morning instead of going to work. Pretty. Yeah, I like the flowers. It's definitely a nice touch. And so we have another big tree, which means we probably need to jungle this area too. And so we will do that. But we're gonna need to blend first. So let's blend the ground in here a little. So I'm gonna use a melt brush. Not as useful as I thought it was, this brush. One of my favourite brushes to start with. Actually kind of rubbish, but kind of useful for this situation at least. So we can melt out this rock here. And this will just allow us to blend it into the ground a little bit more smoothly than it might be possible otherwise. This is good actually for stretching out small sections of terrain that you maybe want them to be a little bit longer. I mean, it's kind of limited in its usefulness actually. I thought it was more useful than it was when it started. So yeah. Just gonna use it to melt out a little bit more to create kind of a little bit better joining between the rock and the ground. The rock and the pre-existing ground. And I suppose we can overlay at this point maybe. Let's go for an overlay of grass and dirt in fact. We overlay D2 and we're going to do dirt. And we'll do a size of 10 and we'll start at the top here. And what this is going to let us do is, well, you can see, put dirt on our structure. Be a little bit careful here. I don't want to drop it down there where I want it to stay kind of rocky, so we'll do that bit a little bit more carefully later. And I'm just going to drop this all over. We will work with, we'll put grass over the top of this, so dirt first and then grass of course. Grass will only be depth 1. I could have done grass to begin with and then just had the grass die away, but I'm not sure specifically on how well that's going to work. This is the safer option. Just get this pretty much everywhere. Come on now. Yes. I've clicked so many times now I need to wait for it to kind of catch up. Oh, wow, it caught up real quick. I'm not sure whether they changed faster world edit or something, but it performs so much quicker suddenly, recently. I don't know why. I don't know if it's something that's happened to my machine, or... faster world edit performs a lot more quickly. Thank you, friend. How are you doing this morning? Or afternoon? Wherever it is that you're from. Nice. Alrighty. What's that? Oh, I remember what that is. There we go. You've got a nice smooth hill with some tree on it. And the next thing will be grass. So we're going to go back for overlay, but we only want depth 1 this time. And we're going to do voxel grass. And we're going to start at the top again. And work our way down. I know I didn't really do that last time, but this time I'm going to for sure. We're going to put some jungle in here and around the existing tree, I think, the one that I've just built. I might even need to build another tree. But, I don't know, maybe not. We'll see. See what takes my fancy. I love these. It's so easy to build these cliffs. They don't have quite the charm of the Minecraft cliffs. I must say Minecraft's cliff generation is good. And it creates really lovely looking... the Minecraft Stranger generation is probably its most accomplished feature, actually. It's probably the best feature of Minecraft. So... yes. Yeah, I'm gonna be careful. I don't want to put it kind of, because it's supposed to be the sea and it's supposed to be kind of rough. I don't really want it to be super green all the way down to the coast, so I'm going to be a little bit careful with that. Now, grass is enabled. Grass growth is enabled on this world, so it should grow over again any places where I've missed. Now, I should mention that I'm actually colorblind, so I can't really see very easily these which areas I've already done. Brown and green are particularly tricky for me, so especially with this shader mod, like brown and green, yeah, really not easy to tell apart. Fortunate for me. When I'm trying to build stuff using brown and green. Okay. Let's go for some jungle then. How long have we got left? We've got a few minutes, maybe long enough. I'm actually going to use a blend ball on here. Oh no, I'm not. I'm going to use a smooth, because a blend ball will wreck this, but we need to smooth this area down because it's too rough at the moment. It's good enough. Alright, so I'm going to do BR tree. No. Yeah, tree. B tree, jungle, bush to start with. And I'm going to be somewhat careful with this. I don't want to overdo it, and I don't want to underdo it. Let's leave a route open there for the player to walk through. So I tend to like trying to do them kind of in clusters, because I think if they're too regular, it looks dumb. And if they're too sparse, it looks dumb. So in these kind of clusters works quite well, I found. 360 no scope, yeah. Sniping all of these suckers. The reason I'm doing the bushes first is this is actually a time lapse. So start with bushes because that way you can see them, otherwise we won't be able to see the bushes. Because they'll be hidden by the trees. Pew, pew, pew. Oh, missed a spot down here. With the grass overlay, but that's okay. I could almost leave it actually just bushy, couldn't I? Oh, it looks quite nice with the big tree there as well. Maybe I'll leave it just kind of bushy. This is an interesting prospect, and I could build another tree maybe. Yeah, maybe I'll do that actually. We'll leave it bushy to have like a different kind of terrain. Obviously same kind of bushes as we have elsewhere, but alrighty. So next thing, I think, can I do this actually? Can I do an overlay of grass? I do B over B. I think it might work actually. So B overlay. B. It's 38.1, is it? Oops. What is that? 38. No. Okay. Grass. 31.1. So the V. 31.1. And then I think if I do this. Ah. Boom, it works. Genius. Alrighty. So let's go for just seriously grassy. Boom, boom, boom. Riotous growth. Now, I may need to remove this again later if I want to kind of refine it, but it's going to let me see what I'm working with at least. I was not aware of this as a technique, but of course this makes sense that it would work. So the reason this works is that gunpowder, or with the overlay brush, causes it to go on top of what you target. And because it's not overall, it will only target natural full blocks, so grass and stone and dirt, for example. So it won't target the grass. I was afraid that maybe it would stack the grass on top of the grass, which would look stupid. This is going to be an extremely green hill, I think, by the time I'm finished. Alrighty. Check it out. It green. Greenery. Quite nice, actually. I quite like that. I don't suppose, is there anybody left here who would like to see the build? Speak now, and I will go on a little tour. If nobody is interested, then I will call it a day because I do have things to be doing, and don't mind having a few more minutes to do them. Progress is looking good. Yeah, I kind of like this as a style. Oh, Super Luigi Burrow is still here, so I will have a fly around here. Let's have a look. Okay. Here's the center of the build here. So we have this kind of Greek-style ruined temple, which I think is quite kind of nice because it's so pale. Really works against the kind of the dark foliage. Over here you have these trees that I kind of developed my technique on. So each one's a little bit different in the technique that was used. In fact, let me show you here, see if I can spot it. So here, for example, you can see the tree trunk of the trees, the tree generator that I used to actually make the leaves. So the leaves are actually made from generated trees. Generated trees using the voxel sniper command. over here, this was done in one session, so both of these hills here, this was very, very quick. This is when I first discovered rocks, really. I was just kind of having a play, and I discovered that I could make this this landscape here super quickly, so it's like 2 hours to build this. I mean, I know it's not very exciting, it's basically just fills the view, but I mean, it looks nice, so I'm not sniffing at it. I'm noticing a weird thing happening. Oh, it's a vine. I see. Okay. Over this way, here's another example of the rock brush in use. So we have sea cave here. Fortunately, lighting doesn't work quite the same in this mod, this shaders mod, so you can't get the light through there. But I really love this. Actually, it's kind of cool, like underground beach, and yeah, really nice. Leads out to here where we have this kind of stack and stump architecture, kind of boring. Actually don't like it that much, so maybe I'll do something more with this. Again, this was produced very quickly, actually, not too much effort went into this. So this whole section here was very quick. In about a week, I think, everything you can see in front of you, apart from those trees in the background. By contrast, this area was very, very slow. This took about three sessions to build this beach. Beaches are extremely difficult to build, actually, to make them like kind of nice and smooth, as this one is. I mean, it's still not perfect. I'm looking at it now, and I like, still want to tweak it a little. Just gonna do a little. Basically, having to put in the whole beach by hand because otherwise it doesn't work. Shh, there's a secret down here. You ready for a secret? Lush. It's actually a big clam. Unfortunately, you can't really see it in this shaders mod, but there's a big kind of clam hidden in the sand here. It's this beach. Yeah, lovely beach. Not really any chests around in it. In fact, maybe we could hide one, sneak one in. So these chests are one day going to have something in. I'm thinking that this is going to be like just an exploration kind of map where you just explore and you have to find all the chests, basically. Maybe with some clues. There might be clues in them about where to find the others. So we got this kind of dark oak wood here, side of the mountain. This area actually didn't have the TLC it needed, so maybe at some point I can come back to this kind of ravine here, which kind of worried it wasn't really completed to a very satisfactory standard. I should do this every time I fly around, actually, because I do fly around quite often and there's always a few little things that I spot, and I should probably do that each time, and slowly we'll get that. Actually, it's fine, isn't it? I can stay. So we have this like waterfall here. I thought you could go through, you can't. Shows how much I remember. We have this kind of cool glowing gold going on, which I think is nice. Yeah, a couple pools of the glowing gold. This is supposed to be melting out the glacier. I know it's a lot of water to come out of such a small glacier, but who cares? It's trying to stop me. There's actually a cave in here. Now this cave doesn't look as good as I was hoping it would. It looks a bit sterile. I don't know what it is. I think part of it is that gold looks doesn't look like it really belongs. But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of cool, I guess. This leads us out the other side here. Where we have a lot more stuff. So through here is we have a ravine. Next to it we have this, it's supposed to be limestone pavement. I don't know if you know what that is or if you can tell what it is, but it looks kind of cool. Crazy paving. There's a bridge here. For some reason, don't know why there's a bridge. There's no other signs of population, so it's kind of weird for there to be a bridge here, but there is. Nothing up there, as you can see. That's where it ends. A little bit of kind of background forest there. Nothing interesting in there. And the other side of the mountain here. But we do not have law. Room for a ravine in here that hasn't been constructed, and obviously there's nothing here. This is just empty. The beach is just there, just beyond that spur there. Let's see if we can zoom in. How to zoom in? There, you can see the beach actually is just there. There it is. Yeah, I thought I recognized the name. Welcome back, friend. What part were you up to when you had the quit? So here we have this little kind of moorland area. This is still where I was kind of perfecting my techniques, so it's kind of rubbish, really. It's not very exciting. But yeah, practice makes perfect, you know. We have this little forest here again, just kind of background forest. In here we have the freshly repaired tree that was here. I repaired it because its leaves all rotted away because of some kind of issue. I don't remember the exact issue, but they're back now. Still needs more work, actually, I think. Through here is where it all began, in Peaceful Valley. This is the initial build that I kind of started with without really knowing what I was doing, and I built from there. Now, it should be mentioned that this is basically what I was going to try and recreate. Not recreate, but this was kind of where I started. I wanted to do something that was even more grand than this for the next one, which is what you've been seeing me building with the temple in the middle. It's kind of the same idea, except that instead of being so small, it's just absolutely gigantic. So it's 32 chunks across. So if you have a regular client, you can see everything from the middle. If you have a modded client, I guess you can see the full 32 chunks across. So it's 500 blocks or so across. Through here we have the mushroom area. Still lots of rough edges in here. I got kind of frustrated with how much effort it was taking to build this. Like, it's a lot of effort to build these mushrooms, and it looks nice, looks cool, but it's a lot of effort. Still see the mountain over there, actually. And then through here we have a very different area. We got this oops, Virulent Valley, as it's being called. We got this sludge water with these really sad dying, I don't know what they are, mushrooms or trees, half and half. And through here we have Necromancer's area, still very much a work in progress and did not get completed because I was getting frustrated with what I was doing. I didn't really know what to do. So yeah, this is another area that would definitely need some TLC to complete it. What's over here? Oh, here we have evidence of how this evidence of how I transported this world, actually. Should I go in here and see what's in here? No, maybe I shouldn't do that. It might break my time lapse. Don't know. There's not much in there, I think. There may be a copy of this world in there. That's how I had to copy it because of the problems with stuff. Anyway, that's it. That's everything. You've seen it all. There are a series of orbs also that I built on the stream, but they're not in this world anymore. So, RIP. They've moved on from this world. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. One day I'm hoping this will be a cool, super cool exploration adventure map, and it's taken me 10 minutes just to fly around and explain it, so it should be good for at least an hour or two, I think, of exploration gameplay, which could be good, I think, actually. That could be good. I mean, I've still got a lot of work to do. Oh, goodness. Underwater, I haven't actually installed it yet. So I'm not sure about the underwater thing. I've been thinking about it, but I mean, I've got plenty of room for it, and obviously there's the environment on the edge since this is an island. But whether or not I want to do, you know, that is an absolutely mammoth task, doing the underwater section. I mean, obviously it lasts forever, so I mean, I'm kind of using the water as an edge. I've flown over here because I wanted to demonstrate what I've got lined up for next. So once this region is completed, that is everything you can see kind of from the temple. I'm going to go for a volcano here, like a big volcano with burned out forest, kind of all the way down the slopes. And that's going to be visible, hopefully, through this crack in the middle of these two here. So hopefully we'll be able to see like a volcano here with smoke coming out of it. Stuffs. Yeah, underwater. I mean, it could be cool to have some like underwater stuff in this area here, but I don't know at this point. That's all I can say about that. And yeah, I'm gonna head off, I guess. Gotta go to work now, so I'm gonna say thanks everybody for watching. Thanks Super Luigi Bro for sticking with me for the whole stream. I hope to see you around more often. Hopefully you can become one of the regulars who did not turn up today. We have some on and off regulars, quite a few of them actually. Anyway, I'm going to head off. So thanks everybody for watching, everybody who made it to the end. And bye-bye. Somewhere here is stop. Bye.